Tell you, I just got through watching that interview with Aaron the Plumber. So what's up, y'all? I got through watching the interview with Aaron Plummer. Sorry, my sound was all jacked up, but I was watching the interview with Aaron the Plumber that he did with No Jumper recently, and it makes you understand the reason why he acts the way he acts. He has a lot of stuff a lot of childhood trauma that he probably needs. I don't know whether he has counseling. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether he has counseling, but you can tell, like seeing him on that, seeing the clips of him on that Erica Mena show, and then seeing him on this interview with No Jumper, you begin to realize why he's the way he is, and why he does the fade thing, why he seems like he lashes out. It makes a lot of sense when you watch the interview that he did with No Jumper. His mother was on drugs. His dad wasn't around. His dad was like, so he was basically raised streetwise, you know. Mom was on drugs. Dad wasn't around. Dad was I guess, a well-known street guy too, but his dad wasn't around. Dad wasn't in his life. He knew who his dad was, but his dad just wasn't, I guess, in the house. Maybe he knew, maybe his dad was in and out dad. Maybe his dad had other kids. I'm pretty sure he probably had other kids if he's a street guy. Most street dudes have other kids, by a bunch of different women. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that maybe he had some other kids. But yeah, watching that video made me really realize why Aaron the Plumber is the way he is. You know what I'm saying? Why he's the way he is. And it just, yeah, it just, I said, that's why he had a lot of trauma. He had been shot in the face, like just a bunch of stuff. So you see why he's the way he is and why he's really defensive, why he doesn't tolerate disrespect. Because rap, if people see you as weak in the street, man, you fooled. And there's nobody that can save you, especially if your mama strung out on drugs. If your mama's on drugs, man, your mom, you might as well, your mom's might as well don't even be in the house because it's one thing, because I grew up, I remember functioning addicts. I remember people that were addicts but were functioning. They would do crack or do whatever drug they was doing and get up and go to work, take care of their kids like it wasn't nothing. But they wouldn't do their drug until like the weekend because they knew they had to work. They knew they had responsibilities. But that takes when you get addicted to those drugs, man, that takes a special type of willpower, to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Most people can't do that. Most people can't. Okay, you're gonna block me in. Most people can't function um, on on drugs. They just let it take them over. They be strung out. They lose their job, home, start pawning shit in the house. Kids ain't being taken care of. Some of them sell their kids to the drug dealer. That's done happened before. People see that shit in movies, but that shit usually happens. Sell their kid's body, and depending on how ruthless the drug dealer is, some of those drug dealers take advantage of that. The real scumbag ones. If I'm a dope drug dealer and you offer me your 13-year-old daughter for a hit, man, I'm gonna look at you in disgust. Like, lady, I'll just give it to you. Damn. Like, go get some damn. Like, let me go. It's time to report. Like, come on, man. Because you putting your child at risk for your addiction. Like, nah, man. But that's happened. You see that shit in the movies. Think that shit don't really happen, but that's to the extreme, though. A lot of times those parents, especially like in the 80s and 90s, I'm thinking Aaron came from like the 80s and 90s. He's like in his he's 28, so yeah. So he probably come from that era of the crack. He's a product of the crack era. Now, I'm not saying I don't know whether his mom was on drugs when she had him. And I ain't trying to say he was a crack baby, but he was he was born, but no, he was born like in the 90s towards the end of the crack era, So, like I said, I don't know whether that had anything to do with the way he is, but it just shed some light on Aaron the Plumber and why he acts the way he acts. And, he's dealing, you can tell just by the video, he's dealing with a lot of mental trauma. And I'm pretty sure if a bunch, I'm not a medical psychiatrist, but I guarantee you, if you took a medical psychiatrist and showed them clips of Aaron the Plumber and his interviews and how he carries himself. You know, now one thing I will say about him, though, he's very positive. He wants to, like, he's like, man, I'm trying to bring back fighting. If we're going to have these gangs shooting each other, why not just fight and get it over with instead of watching somebody mama cry or sending somebody to the grave because of a beef? Just fight it out, you know? You know what I mean? I do that, you know, that thing, that whole movement of make fades great again, that's his whole movement. I believe that. Let's fight, man. If it gets to that point, we can't talk it out. Let's fight. Whoever, and then, you know, we may not shake hands, but you get to go home to your mama and your family. I get to go home to my mama and my family. Not to the damn funeral home or the morgue after this beef is over with. One of us got it, and then the other one got to go to prison. You know, even if we go to jail for fighting, we're gonna get out the next day. It's gonna be a misdemeanor. You know, police see us fighting, break it up, arrest us. We'll be out in 2 days. If it's the weekend, be out in 2 days. Pay your little fine. Gonna be a little, you know, a little money, whatever. But you alive, you living, you breathing. You going home to your kids. You going home to your mama. You know, kiss your dad. You know, kiss your mom on the forehead. Hang out with your pops. You know, talk to your sister. You ain't in the freaking morgue ready to get shipped off to wherever funeral home. That's now that I admired about him. That black men stop killing each other, stop fighting. If we get to that point, let's fist fight. You know, that's what it was all about in the 70s. It's all about, can you fight? That's why, you know, if you look at gang members in the 70s, they was all about getting yoked up. Because the more big you are, the more stronger you are, the more you are a more adversary opponent, the more we taken down. But now dudes smoke weed all day, drink. They motherfuckers ain't going to the damn gym. Hell. So the only thing they know how to do is do this, you know? Anyway. Shout out to Aaron and Plummer, man. Just want to give my 2 cents. Just saw the new No Jumper interview. Want to give my opinions on it. But it just shed a lot of light to why Homeboy is the way he is. Like, thank God my mom, my mom was old fashioned, but my mama she was loving, but she was also focused, level headed about her business. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? She may have a drink every blue moon. You know, she wasn't an angel now. She would have a drink, but my mom would have drinks like in a social setting. Or if she had a hard day, she would have like a beer. She would buy herself beer, and she would have one beer on Friday nights when she got home. If she drank, if she even drank the beer. Sometimes mom would buy beer and the beer would just sit in the refrigerator and be there for like months. Won't even touch it. Or she might just take one out and have 5 left after she had bought a 6-pack. So I'm just so grateful I had a responsible mom that had her head on straight, man. You know?